Hey, you know what it is. You know where you is. Yes, oh yes, it is that time. Once again, you are in the space. You are in the place. Come on in. You are welcomed here in the I Am the Possible podcast experience. Yes, this is the place where possibilities become perspective. Guys, welcome once again into this moment. And I just want to thank you so much for showing up and just being who you are, being what you are. I just love you, man. I appreciate you. I celebrate you. As has once been said, people will work hard for money, harder for people, but hardest for a cause. And you actually are my cause. You are the reason I do what I do. You cause me to continue to show up in this space and in this place and to serve and to support your success, because that's what I'm purposed to do. That's what I love to do. And as always, I'm excited to be with you once again. I hope and pray that things are going well for you. And if they're not going well, I hope and pray that within your mind, within your heart, within your soul, that you are confident that things will change, things will turn around, things will improve. Okay. Guys, I really don't want to belabor. I don't want to take up much more time. I want to jump right into this one. Today, we're talking about creation and creating whatever you need to create in your life, whether it's creating a better life, whether it's creating some sort of change. Today, I want to talk about your creative power, your creative energy. I want you to know by the end of this episode how blessed you are, how equipped you are, how empowered you really already are to create the things that align with you, that matter to you, the kind of life, the kind of experiences, the kind of results that you've been created to experience. As I was searching my heart, as I was really pondering and really thinking through last couple of weeks, Treveal, what are you creating? What are you really creating? I mean, how can you better articulate that to yourself and to other people? What is it that you're really up to in the world? And what I concluded on for this season, for now, for what I've come to understand, my clarity and my confidence in what I'm creating, is to really help you, the viewer, the listener, those that I work with, those that I serve, those that I support. I really want to come alongside and to help you to create confidence in your ability to create the life that you were created to live. Does that make sense? I want to help you to create confidence in your ability to create the kind of life that you were created to live, because you have it. It's within you. It's there already. And what I've discovered is, yes, we have to learn some skills. Yes, we have to become aware of some different things. Yes, we have to implement on some things. Yes, we have to put in some work and some time. But ultimately, the raw material, the essence, the seeds, the undeveloped raw material, it is there. And I think that a large number of us, we're not aware of what's already there. Speaking of what's already there, I can see my little buddy getting ready for his cameo. That's one of our three cats, Tyson. He loves to make his appearance in the videos, so he's doing another. I guess it wouldn't be a photo bomb, a video bomb, but nevertheless, I like to keep it organic. I like to keep it inviting. Right. So maybe you have cats, maybe you have animals, and maybe you have a living room where you can just kind of kick back and relax, as I'm in my living room as well. But today, again, let's talk about some creation. Let's talk about this thing. So the first thing that I wanted to share, and this is, let me just kind of break this down. my approach today is to really just share some ideas. Okay. And of course, as I share the ideas, there's going to be lessons, there's going to be life moments and, examples, analogies, things that will come to heart and mind. But what I did today was I just kind of bullet pointed, if that's a word, bullet pointed. I have bullet points. Okay. I have bullet points in front of me here of just ideas that I really want to share, some thoughts that I want to get across. And I believe that it's in me sharing these ideas, sharing these thoughts, that there's going to be some revelation. There's going to be some knowledge, some wisdom. There's going to be some aha moments. There's going to be some light bulbs that are going to come on for you, attached to who you are, and what you are able to do. There is an ability within you to create the life that you were created to live. Okay. And so I just want to jump into this and just start to share some of these ideas. So the first idea that I wanted to really share is this progression: clarity, confidence, creation. Clarity, confidence, creation. A lot of us are attempting to create a better life for ourselves, our children. We're trying to leave a legacy. One of the things that becomes a hindrance to our ability to create something is confidence. Confidence is this ability to really acknowledge, accept, appreciate your ability, what you have, what you possess, to acknowledge what you possess, to accept, yep, I've got this. Yep. It's within me. It's there. It's evident. Confidence, by definition, is trust. So if you want more confidence, you have to develop more trust. Well, how do you trust something? You trust something through consistency, consistent behavior, consistent presence, consistent productivity. For example, you know somebody in your life that you don't trust a whole lot. You don't trust them. Let me put it in more specific terms. You don't trust their word. Someone says, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna come by on Friday and do that," and you already know, come Friday morning, you're gonna get that phone call, you're gonna get that text message, and it's gonna be something. They're not reliable. You don't have a lot of trust in them. You name it, you frame it, you put it into your own context. I'm just using that as an example, but you know what I'm talking about. Those kinds of people that you just don't trust. In other words, you don't have confidence that they're going to show up. See, confidence is stability, consistency of action, of presence. And if someone is always saying, I'm going to do this, but then they do something different, their actions don't align with their words, there's a lack of integrity, there's a lack of congruency, then you learn to not trust them. You learn to not have confidence in them. Well, the same is true in this context. If you want to be confident in your ability to create something, you have to be confident in your in the presence of something and the stability of something. So I want you to know that whenever I'm teaching and preaching and sharing, I'm going to always point to things that are there. They've always been there. They're there now, and they'll always be there. This is why I am so confident in what I teach, is because I'm going to always point to things that are within you. They've always been within you. They're within you now, and they're going to always be within you. They're not going anywhere. They're solid. They're stable. Their stability level is 10. And this is why also, this is a side note, the reason that I subscribe to God and I have confidence in God, because I observe life that God created. Our creator created this world that is consistent. It is stable. Now, if you want to say, the ozone layer or, global warming or blah, 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 blah. Don't blame God. Blame humanity. If anything is screwed up in the world, it's because we screwed it up. But God's foundational plan, construct infrastructure, it works. It's bulletproof. It ain't never failed us. And as long as we've been alive, and it ain't failing us now. And if there's any holes in the game, it's because we poked those holes in the game. It ain't because God's not stable and consistent. So enough about confidence. You get the idea. Okay. If it's there and it's stable and it's secure and it's consistent, then we have confidence in it. So now, one more step. The thing that blocks our confidence, okay? Because if we feel blocked in our ability to create something in our lives, if that's attached to our lack of confidence, right? Our lack of ability to create is due to a lack of confidence, right? In our ability to create it, then what creates the lack of confidence? Clarity. When you're not clear about something, then you are usually confused, chaotic, mentally, emotionally. You're unsure, you're unstable, you're double-minded, as the Bible talks about. When you don't have clarity, you're iffy about that thing. You're like, a lot of apprehension, a lot of one toe in, but you ain't ready to jump all the way in because you ain't really clear about that. You ain't really sure about that. So if you want to become a better creator of life, then you have to become more confident in the things that you use to create things in life. But in order to become more confident in your ability to do that, you have to become more clear about what you have, about what you possess. Clarity of possession equals confidence in production or creation. So I want to help you become clear about what you are, clear about what you have, clear in your ability to see things in yourself that are there, confident in your ability to say things to yourself that align with the things that you now see in yourself. Again, I'm just flowing. I'm just sharing things. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. The better we get at this, the better life becomes, because life happens on the inside. So the better you are clear, the more clear you are about how you work on the inside, about what you are on the inside. Not trying to control everything that's happening on the outside. Those are things that we can't control. That's not a good use of our energy. The best use of our energy is to become clear, confident, and creative concerning the things that are within us, because life happens on the inside. Remember, one earth, infinite worlds. My world is not your world. Your world is not my world. We all share the same earth. When we walk outside, our feet, we are stepping, we are walking on the same earth beneath us. But what makes the difference in the quality of our lives is what's happening within us, not beneath us, within us. Get more clear, get more confident, become a better creator. So here's some ideas that I want to share with you. First thing is, let's get clear about this. You are an idea. If you've never heard that before, you heard it now. You are an idea. Why do I say that? You are your creator's idea. Nothing exists without first being an idea in the mind of its creator, whatever it is and whoever the creator is. If it is here, if it is present, it began as a concept in the mind and the imagination of its creator. You are your creator's idea. You are here with purpose, for purpose, on purpose, whether you ever become aware of it or not, whether you ever become accepting of it or not. This is why I say that the greatest thing that you will ever become is accepting of what you already are. If you knew you were your creator's idea, then you would also know, if you were clear about this, you would also know that as with any idea, you represent, as does any idea represent, an answer to a question, a solution to a problem. Someone says, hey, man, how can this be? How can we fix this? How can we solve this problem? Boom, that's the problem. That's the question. And the idea comes to mind. And that's the answer. That's the solution. Well, I just believe that there are some things in the earth that need to be addressed. And your presence addresses it. So your creator said, how do we get this done? How do we address this problem? How do we solve this problem? I've got an idea. The idea called, and you fill in the blank, your name. I've got this great idea called, what's your name? You put it right there, because you are that answer to that question. You are that solution to that problem. You are your creator's idea. Now, with that understood, we got to understand something. Okay. How were we created? We were created in the image of our creator. We are an extension, like an extension cord. We are an extension of our creator. We are an extension of God, an expression of God. And so what happens with any extension cord? There is an energy source behind that wall. And when you plug in the initial cord, energy flows, and the extension cord plugs into that cord to further the flow of energy. Follow me. If we are an extension of God, then the same creative energy flowing from source is flowing through self. Yeah. If you see source, you see self. If you see self, you see source. I don't want to get too spiritual on you, but we are a reflection of God, not our bad actions, not our bad choices, not our bad behavior. Get off that. I want you to begin to entertain seeing yourself at your core, at your essence, above all of the failures and the faults and the mistakes. All of that is just human stuff. You're greater than human stuff. Are you a human? Yes, human form and shape, but your spirit. You are God-like. There is Godness in you and of you. You're made of it. If you only knew how great you were, if you only knew how powerful you were, if you only knew, my goodness, if you only knew yourself, if you only knew yourself. Let me give you another idea here. Ideas create confidence. Ideas create confidence in one thing or another. Any idea. Let's think about this. If I share an idea with you, hey, I looked on my phone today and the forecast is rain and I saw some clouds in the sky. If I shared that idea with you, would you be pretty confident? It's probably going to rain. Like the phone app says it's going to rain. I see an overcast. You're starting to create some confidence in the fact that it's going to rain. All signs point to rain. Now, you may be holding out hope that the sky clears up, that the app changes, and that the sun comes out because you want to go fishing or you want to go to the beach. You may be holding out hope. You may even be praying that things change. But I can promise you, if I share the idea, the app says 90% rain. I'm looking up in the sky. There's clouds, gray clouds. All signs point to, the idea points to, it's going to rain. You are more likely, highly likely, that you're going to be confident that some water is about to fall out the sky pretty soon. See how that works? Ideas create confidence one way or another. The same would be true if I express something different. I just want to give you tidbits, ideas, crumbs, morsels. You go back, you chew on it, you pray on it, you meditate on it, you muse on it, you work on it, you contemplate. Okay. What does this mean? Ideas create confidence in one way or another. Now, I already told you. I already told you that you are your creator's idea. So what does that mean? If ideas create confidence and stuff, then by default, let's be honest, you, the idea that you are, you're creating confidence in something. Your presence is creating confidence in something, whether you want to or not. Your presence is creating confidence, good or bad, positive or negative. You, by default, create confidence in something. It's what you represent. It's how you're showing up. When other people look at you and watch you, you're creating confidence in something. It's just a matter of what it is. But people have more confidence in something because they know you. Every time they see you, every time you show up. I remember one time I was at church. It was back in the old building. And we were there a little early and we were praying and carrying on. And I remember, shout out to my uncle, E. Lamar Elias. Shout out to my uncle, man. He came in through the back, and I don't know if I ever told him this story or not. I think I did, but if I didn't, and you're listening, uncle, shout out to you, man. Salute. Love you, man. As you would say, you are God's best, man. Absolutely, you are God's best, and I love you. And I call you uncle because to me, man, you're someone that I just look up to, and I just appreciate and I value in my life. And so we're there praying and, we're doing our thing. And then Unc walks in and I never opened my eyes. I never saw him, but I could hear him. I hear him praying. And I think I, started to hear him kind of sing a little bit. But my point is I heard him. When he came into the room, it wasn't that I was not secure already. It wasn't like there was a problem that was happening, but it was something about it. When he walked in the room, I just got at peace. He brought peace. I remember saying to myself, everything is cool now. Everything is cool now. I don't know why. I mean, again, there was no evidence that there was danger, but it was just something about his presence that was like, wow, everything is cool now. What do you represent? Because your presence as an idea that began in the mind and the heart and the imagination of your creator, you literally represent creating confidence in something. That's literally what your life does. When people see you, they think of something. Your name is synonymous with something. When people say your name, it's synonymous with something. So I just wanted you to understand that this is something that you should be aware of and you should be attentive to. Because in a moment, I'm going to get down here. We have the God-given gift of choice. We have the ability to be intentional about what we represent. If we don't like what we represent, if we don't like how we're showing up, we can change that. Okay? But that was a thought that I wanted to share. All right? So, and actually, that's my next thought right here. What are you, if you are, what are you intentionally, consciously creating and contributing to the creation of? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Have you ever thought about that? Like, what do I represent? What am I creating through my presence? Not like building a multi-million-dollar business, not like doing all these other things. I'm talking about what is it that your very presence creates? When you walk into a room, what atmosphere do you create? What environment do you create by just walking into the room? Have you ever thought about that? Because it's happening. For some people, when you walk in, they're like, oh, here we go. For others, when you walk in, yes, they're here. You're in control of that. You get to decide that. All right. In my notes, I just kind of took this down. For some, we represent confidence in general terms, not someone that knows you personally, but just in general terms. You know, life's a bee and then you die, as we used to say back in the day. Life's a bee and then you die. It's just a horrible perspective on life, man. You know, just a horrible perspective. But we used to say it. Life's a bee and then you die. I forgot. I think it was like a rap song or something like that. And then we kind of picked it up within our culture. But, you know, life's a bee and then you die. And it's just like, life is a drag. Life sucks. We just hear whatever. Life sucks. And then at some point you die. You could represent that. Or you could represent what's possible. Change is possible. A better life is possible. Faith in God is possible. A turnaround, transformation, it's possible. I didn't know it at the time. Over the last 20 or so years, I've been cultivating unconsciously. I didn't know it. Now I know it. I'm very clear about it today. I represent what's possible. I remember a close friend of mine who passed away a couple years ago, JJ from our church. He used to always say, Treveal, you ain't supposed to be here, man. You were supposed to be what's probable. Young black kid growing up in the hood, you know, single parent, and actually was my grandmother, right? You didn't grow up with your father. He wasn't in your life at that time. Your mother was strung out on drugs and alcohol, and she presented, you know, to you a consistent dose of domestic violence and disappointment. You grew up in a neighborhood where people bullied you and teased you and ridiculed you and shunned you and pushed you to the side. You grew up with your grandmother who, you know, by no fault of her own, created a latchkey kid environment, and you were left to all of these vices in your life, pornography, and you were left to, you know, low self-esteem because no one accepted you. And then you got off into the crime life and you began robbing and stick up kid, and you went to jail a couple of times and a couple of near, you know, life threatening, you know, instances where I've had guns to my head, knives to my throat. Just a crazy lifestyle. Dropped out of college twice, homeless for 2 years. I mean, these are some of the things that I've endured, man. Been strung out on drugs myself, alcohol, right? Addicted to opium, you know, like this is some craziness, and I ain't even scratched the surface. And JJ knew all of that background. And JJ would say, man, you ain't supposed to be here, man. You are not supposed to be here. But today, right? I'm a pastor. Today, I'm a speaker. I'm an author 3 times over, certified personal trainer. I'm a father. I'm a husband of 25 years, right? Husband 26 years, father 25 years. I mean, I'm all of these different things. Podcast host, right? I'm able to do these things. Certified navigational life coach. I mean, all of these different things, and I'm just free flowing. None of these things are written down, but I'm just thinking about my life and how I've turned it around. Corporate America for 18 years, right? Took a 2-year contract, turned it into a 6-figure income through my ability to communicate effectively. That's why I teach soft skills. That's why I teach, you know, intrapersonal communication skills. This is why I'm so passionate about these things, because I've seen my life transform in and through these things. And so my life represents transformation. My life represents that classic before and after. My life represents these things. I'm an idea of these things, that it's possible for you. If it was possible for me, it's possible for you. So I could choose to represent life as a bee and then you die, or I could choose to represent what's possible. I am the possible. And just as a side note, for anybody who never knew this is not I am the possible, me speaking to me. This is for you. You're supposed to declare this. You're supposed to say this. You're supposed to decree this over your life. You are supposed to say, I am the possible. I am that which I am becoming. I and my possibilities are one and the same. Everything I hope to be tomorrow, I already am today. You're supposed to be able to say that in and through what I'm depositing and sharing and teaching and preaching to you. These conversations that we're having, it's my hope that you will say these things about you. All right? I know it makes sense. I won't even ask. Last idea. What will it be for you? What will you choose? The choice is always yours. the greatest gift God ever gave us. Choice. If we don't like where we are, we can choose to do better. If we don't like how something is, we can choose to change it. It's amazing. It's the greatest gift. And yet it is the gift that most people neglect. We neglect it. We reject it. Because here's my take on it. I think we think by owning our choice that it's going to add some sort of pressure to our lives, and we're going to feel resentful toward ourselves if we make the wrong decision. Newsflash. You, and I won't go down this path too much because that's not what this show is about. I'll teach on these things more in depth in the future, and I've already taught on these things in depth in the past. I'll continue to revisit these concepts. But this whole idea of making the bad decision, the bad choice, taking the wrong road, taking the wrong path, doing the wrong thing, going the wrong way. Two things. Number one, life has an amazing life, not us, life in and of itself, the way that God set this thing up. Life has an amazing way of redeeming us. Trust that. They say trust the process. Trust that. Life redeems us. Life is the life of, as we like to say, God is the God of the second chance, the third chance, the fourth chance, the fifth chance. Now, I get it. We can make some bad choices and put ourselves in some really horrible situations. I get it. What I'm trying to say to you right now is this stagnant, stuck, what is it? Paralysis by analysis. You just don't want to do nothing. You're at the crossroad and you just won't choose either way. That, my friend, come on, man. Come on, time out for that. Pick, choose, do something. Because life has a way of redeeming you. And just like a GPS, you put in the directions, you get off on the wrong exit, it has a way of recalibrating, redirecting you, and getting you back on course. Number two, a lot of times with this whole regret thing, it's the way we look at it. It's our perspective. It's the way we choose to assign the meaning to it. It's the meaning that we assign to it. It's what we've come up with. It's the story that we're telling ourselves because things didn't turn out the way we thought that they should turn out. A lot of that has to do with expectation. A lot of that has to do with what we desire. And you have to give yourself this grace to understand that you're figuring life out. You're putting the pieces of the puzzle together. It is a journey. As we love to say, it is a marathon, not a sprint. Give yourself grace. Understand that things may not turn out the way you think they should, but they are turning out as they should. They are. They're working out for you. They're working out for you. Life is conspiring to bring you right on time to the destination that you are supposed to be in. Yes, we play a part in it, but I just want you to kind of take a bit of the load off, not be so tense and pressured about trying to get everything right. You're working, God's working, life is working, everything's working together. What I'm talking about today is a realization, a revelation of how good you are, of how great you are, of how powerful you are, of how creative you are, and how creative your creator was in creating you. So the more clear we get about us, then the more confident we become in ourselves, and the more we are able to create out of our happy space, that creative energy, that creative space. Life becomes, as I once heard it put, the sandbox, the playground, where even as Jesus said, we become like little kids again to inherit this kingdom. The kingdom of God is near, but we must become like little kids again. Kids are so creative. so imaginative. Kids have very little limitations, very few limitations when it comes to trying things out, going for it, figuratively and literally jumping off the edge. I've got 4 amazing children. I know how fearless children can be. I want to encourage you to become more childlike, become a little less fearless, but you do so by becoming more clear about you, more confident in you, and more creative through you. I hope and pray that you have received some information that you can lean into, learn, and leverage to begin to create more confidence in your ability to create the kind of life that you were created to live. This is Treveal C.W. Lynch, Mr. What founder of I Am the Possible. This has been another episode of the I Am the Possible podcast experience, the place where possibilities become, what do they become? What do they become? Perspective. Guys, until next time, remember, genius is your design. Greatness is your destiny. God loves you. I love you. Be encouraged.